All right. I hear the music, and I see everyone's screens. Darkmoon, I do believe that means we are live.
I believe that's exactly what that means. Welcome everyone to Final Fantasy Randomizer. It's going to be a fun one tonight.
Oh yeah, this is another installment of our weekly Evolving Seed series, and this promises to be a fairly entertaining flag set from what I can look at, and especially given what the seed that Darkmoon rolled, I need to emphasize that, has handed us 4 players. I believe we are using the party draft setting.
We are. It's supposed to have seven classes in the party draft, and of those 7, the game decided to pick, I think a couple thieves, a couple red mages, a couple white mages, and a black mage. So they had to make a party from that.
I mean, it's one of those things. Most people don't complain about Thief Rainbow.
No, it's
And
playable.
the ones who do need the practice on the Thief Rainbow.
Thief Rainbow's great. Well, we have so many thief fixes in place at this point that the thief is playable, and the ninja is especially playable with all the extra gear it gets. Like, respect the thief. He's actually worth it at this point.
Okay, I'm just going to point out, it's not that we have so many thief fixes in place. We just fixed how running works, and then gave the thief a little extra hit percent every level.
That's 2 serious fixes. Well, and we fixed
One of those is not a thief fix. That's just a fixing Nasir's math thing. Anyway.
And we fixed the weapons too, so the katana is better.
Okay. I'm just saying thief fixes instead of fixes that are general that benefit the thief implies 2 different things. Also, apparently we had 3 red mages.
Oh, wow. You are fun to heckle, though, dude. It's so much fun.
Oh, absolutely. So anyway, before we get completely off topic, there's plenty of time for that later, why don't we tell the fine folks at home what we mean when we say an evolving weekly?
Well, what this is going to mean is that the flag set that we designed, I think it's like 3 months ago at this point, although it was not run for like about a month there during Winter Dab because Winter Dab overrode everything that we were doing, basically. But it's essentially from week to week, it evolves. We came up with a basic flag set, and then the players ran it. And whoever won that one, which I believe was Thunder the first week, got to change 1 flag. And then we went to the next week, and that changed flag set was then run again, and someone else got to change the flag. We've had one runner who actually got to do 2 in a row one time. I believe that was also Thunder. And so, because he won 2 weeks in a row, he got to change 2 flags that week. And it does accumulate from there, and if someone were to win 5 in a row, they'd actually get to make the entire new flag set all themselves. That hasn't happened yet. This flag set's a little mean, and sometimes it rolls really mean.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things. There's a lot of beauty that I see in the flags, and a lot of room to make things even more hilarious. Do I even want to know what y'all started with to get to this point?
Well, I made the flag set, and I'm starting to pick up a reputation for making really nasty flag sets, even when I think they're just supposed to be quote unquote fun.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, my idea of fun is not everyone's idea of fun. Oops.
It's good to know I'm not alone.
Yeah. I'm helping out. For those of you that might be familiar with the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, thank you for coming back. For those of you unfamiliar, welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer. If you're interested in the randomizer while we get this race going, and we should see it starting up soon, we do have a duckling program we do, where we train people in how to play the game. And I'm not allowed to make flags for that.
Alright.
Life 2 learnable by promoted people.
Yeah. Brack available, and I saw an X-Fur as well, so...
I mean, we can kill Garland with what we have right now. We got white mages, they can learn Life 2 immediately. Brack will kill Garland more than likely. That's a doable start.
Yeah, cheap pro rings. Yeah. I like to see that. Nothing... Ooh, that dragon sword is usable by the thief, but we also can't afford it, and it's also cursed.
Yeah, that's not the best right there.
It's still better than nothing. I didn't get a chance to see any... Oh, okay. Alright, black mages get to use the defense sword.
There's a lot of thinking going on here. You can kind of see that they were going back in and out of town a lot, being like, "Am I ready to go yet? Am I ready to go?" Yeah, the red mages, as Chad is pointing out, do get to use the X-Cal. So if we find that, that's a great sword for them.
Oh, absolutely. So, for folks who maybe this is your first time seeing a Final Fantasy I randomizer, you're probably seeing a lot of pluses and minuses on the screen right now. That's because at some point or another, someone was like, Final Fantasy I is basically just an unlicensed AD&D game.
Yep.
So why don't we make it feel more like AD&D?
Like. So Daegu is playing with, I believe, his Christmas mod right now, and that's Doofy. Did see that the king gave us the canoe. Didn't see what... Oh, Sarah must have given us the rod. So that's going to open up Earth Cave for us, which... Let me double check incentives and make sure. Earth Cave is incentivized, so whenever they decide to go over there, it is open to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. One star.
Yeah. So, getting back to what I was saying real quick, just to finish the thought out. So, weapons and armor now have a chance to roll a bonus or a penalty that alters their statistics to a noticeable degree. In addition, classes can now roll benefits, pluses and minuses.
Yep.
So, for example, the red mages today rolled the ability to equip the Excalibur. And I didn't see what malices they got, but we've got 3 bonuses and 2 malices in the pool, so...
Yep. Yeah, every class is going to have 3 bonuses, 2 penalties, and sometimes that can be pretty good. Other times that works out pretty poorly. Looks like we have... Magic Shop locations, that's right. So I'm like, I don't remember that being on, but that's because it was turned on just a little while ago, I believe, by Thunder. Thunder has made all of this stuff worse. But yeah, the towns are shuffled, so you're seeing Gaia at Provoca. You're seeing level 5 white and level 7 black here.
I think it was level 5 black, because I think we saw level 5 nuke.
Okay. And level 7, and I'm not even sure they checked the other magic shops.
Elmarkin did. It looked like one of them was the vanilla level 8 Gaia shop, and the other was the Lefane level 8 shop. Ah, yeah, Dangwoo's looking at it now, too.
So, not a whole lot that's usable now, but whatever town shows up at the Elfland location has a chance to roll magic they actually might want.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Maybe.
that level 5 nuke's going to come into play
Eventually.
someday.
Yeah, like, they don't have the levels for it right now, but eventually... Now, let's see what's over at Elfland. Elfland is Melmond, so no pirates to kill yet, but we do have level 8 magic.
There's that other Gaia shop, and there's the other Lefane shop. Well, the good news is, every other magic shop we find from here on out
should be usable. Bad news is, they're stuck with this for right now until they find out where the canal is, because canal's not free.
Yeah, well, hopefully the fish are nice today.
Now, of note, the canal is also not in the pool.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, they did get free canal. They did get free canal. Never mind.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine if they go and check Matoya. Dangwoo just found a +4 Bane sword.
Oh, that's lovely. Like, the ninja, the thief can't swing that just yet, but that is Bane magic. They've got some AoE. They're fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've got AoE. That Bane sword is going to be equipable by the ninja, and +4 Bane sword. That's an in-game weapon already.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you find, like, a katana that's better, then sure, use the katana, but I'm not gonna, like, in my head, I'm not gonna concern myself too much with worrying about an endgame weapon at this point. I more just want to know where that tail is so I can class change.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying, like...
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, no, that sword, once you can equip it, that sword is going to do work.
Yep. And to note, we have 17 items in the pool, but 21 locations. So... were they to have a black belt, these flags would be great black belt flags. I missed... Oh, we have Elfland. Elfland at Crescent. Level 2! Hey!
I think I see an Ice 2 and a Fire 2.
Ice 2 and Fire 2 at level 2 black. Level 2 white also there with Heal 2. Okay, sure.
And Fog 2. And our tracker is correcting us. We are actually in Melmond in Elfland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, because it's red. I should remember that. Crescent Lake's green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock also at level 2. That's
useful.
Yeah, like that's going to be more useful than Ice 2 and Fire 2 at the end of the game.
Okay, and Crescent apparently was vanilla. I'm guessing the sages gave us the chime. So, yeah, bottom half of Sky Palace is open.
Ooh, Cat Claws +1 available in Elfland. Not the worst thing to see. That's going to have a decent crit rate on it, and it's going to... If we don't find anything better, a +1 Cat Claw is not the worst thing to know where to find.
So we got the floater at 26k in the shop. Lovely. We have White Magic here, level 4 life. That's nice. I missed what the Black Magic shop was, but
level
also
7.
saw... Level 7, okay. Also saw Flame Armor and Ice Armor, both of them, I believe, +1 for sale at Elfland.
Yeah.
Did he just
sell that Bane Sword?
I think he did. Or he at least looked at it to see what the price was.
Okay, yeah, I can't blame him if he was looking to see, okay, if I sell this, can I go ahead and get a floater? It looked like it was about 13k for the Bane, so...
Then he didn't sell, because he only has, like, 1,800 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's tolerable. I'm okay with that. So, looking at the locations we have available to us, Ice Cave, Ordeals... Titan's Trove's going to take the Ruby, and then we have all the Elemental Dungeons, 2 of which we can access right now. So it's just a matter of where do you want to go now to try and get that money for that floater? I mean, as much as I don't normally like Earth Cave, I would at least think about checking that Hall of Giants. You know, because it's right there, and maybe you can get the money for the floater just by doing a quick Hall of Giants grind with the Bane Sword. It's a thought.
I think Dang did just sell the Bane Sword. Yeah, he just sold the Bane Sword for 2 corals.
Well, they're +3, and his thief can actually do something.
Yeah, alright. Yeah. I don't hate the play.
No,
I
that
hate that play.
Yeah, because the Bane is not the most accurate, and your sword, especially with the thief fixes on, is probably going to be more accurate, especially with the +3.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing he's probably looking at is... the first few places we're going to probably be looking for advancement are probably going to be very undead heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So that may also just be an eye toward, I'm not going to get as much mileage out of this Bane as I am punching things in the face.
Yeah, totally.
But, on the other hand, it still hurts when you don't have any accessible sweeping spells except for that. Well, okay, he does have that Ice 2 and Fire 2 at level 2 magic, so...
I think it's more that it's going to put him in a position now, because part of the reason why I mentioned the Ice Armor and Flame Armor is we know where those are. So you had potentially endgame armor for the Thief. With that Bane Sword, you had an endgame sword. However much treasure you wanted to go looking for, you were done whenever you decided to be done. Mm-hmm. Now he has to worry about an endgame sword.
Yeah. Which, it is one of those things with the amount of exploration you're going to be doing, there's a good chance you're going to find something. But
it's entirely on you, because again, 17 items, 21 locations, you only have to check the items you want to check.
Yeah. On the other hand, though...
How many hands do we have here?
I don't know. How many is Carry sporting? We'll just start there and maybe upgrade to Kraken if we have to.
I gotta tell you, I think we only have like 4 hands and 3 eyes between us, so...
Okay, a fair point. We're not using our eyes for this. Come on, anyone who watches knows we're not paying attention to the runners.
Oh, never. Never. Oh, we do have someone going to Volcano, so we finally have a new location. We're good to actually start talking again.
Yeah, so, but I don't think we've seen anything too dramatic yet. I think I saw pro something plus something, so we might have found a pro cape. But,
Money, procreate -2.
Okay. Well, never mind then.
No,
But no, so... And this is one of those, like, long shot, no one in their right mind would do it unless they were forced in a desperate situation.
I would totally do it.
That Cat Claw +1, it's not the ideal in-game weapon, but you hand it to a ninja, you get that ninja up to the mid-20s, upper 20s.
It's doable.
Yeah, you'll get through if your buffing spells have landed in good positions, which I don't think we've seen fast or temper yet.
I thought we saw fast, maybe level 6. I'm not sure about temper.
Okay.
Yeah, and Melee Wizard, our tracker, is confirming in chat it was level 6.
Okay, so you're gonna have fast available.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if push comes to shove, you can make that Cat Claw work.
You probably could.
No one's gonna be happy doing it.
No.
No one in their right mind would be happy doing it, but you can. So you're not completely doomed. And are those slimes in the Hall of Giants?
They are thunder slimes in the Hall of Giants. Wow! I'm not going to the Hall of Giants for that. That's gross. And
they're the first tile, so you've got to get past this encounter to even find out if there's anything useful in the second tile.
They will punch. It is not always first turn thunder. Now he has to... Oh, okay, he's got to survive this. I'm not sure you can brack slimes, because they're...
I don't think you can either.
Think you can. No. And there's that thunder.
There's the thunder.
He might have been out of fire charges, though.
He wasn't. He still had fire shots. I think he psyched himself out thinking about, like, okay, I've got to get back past this tile if the other tile is good.
Yeah.
So it was kind of I don't want to use all of my fire 2s because then I can't get back out.
If he gets good turn order, he can get this to work. It's just he needs that turn order.
Yeah, which...
Yeah.
If you gotta gamble on turn order, this is kind of the location to do it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because these will pay out great, and this will get you most of the way towards where you want for that floater.
Oh, I was just thinking about the fact that, like, this is one of the closest spike tiles to an entrance.
That too. That was like $6,000 right there, and gets him... It looked like level 3, but I think it's actually level 9, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was level 9. So...
That signal on the stream, that's all for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's going back in. Oh, now he's going to check a different tile. That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, I will point out that with a lot less stress, Dang is already at level 8, just taking encounters in the Castle of Ordeals.
That said, he has to actually explore the Castle of Ordeals, and if he takes a wrong turn, he's exploring it again.
Yeah, but you do also have a nice little treasure trove and a couple of spike tiles you can check at the top. He did actually go ahead and peep the Mud Golem tile. Ah, hey, there's that Excalibur. It's a -2 Excalibur.
It's still better than the
Excalibur.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that Red Mage has just officially become probably our best attacker for a good little while.
Especially with the thief kissing dirt.
Yeah, we got life too. He'll be fine in a minute.
He'll come back. Is that Death Touch on the Zombie Ds?
I wasn't looking closely enough to see, but I
think it only hit the Red Mage for 35, and then the Red Mage ate dirt. And we've got Eye and Ordeals, apparently. Single Eye.
Hey, well, yeah, it's going to be Single Eye. We don't have B-sides on today.
That's a good reminder that we don't have B-sides on.
Yeah, so for those of you playing along at home, in Final Fantasy I, all encounters, basically each memory location for encounters technically represents 2 distinct encounters, depending on a number of things that I don't remember exactly how it works in the code, but the important thing is, basically every fight in the game has an A-side and a B-side. One of the flags we can turn on for the forced encounters, aka the spike tiles, is to say, hey, don't bother using all of the original, forced encounters. Just pick a selection of the B-side fights and go hog wild.
And some of those B-sides are fights you wouldn't see normally in the game anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The B-sides are usually the harder versions of encounters in a given zone, which sometimes just means, oh, I step on a spike tile and it's a group of Gurims. And sometimes it means, oh, I step on tile and it's a red giant and 3 Agamas. Or sometimes it means I step on a spike tile and, there's 3 eyes here.
That's the one I like.
Everyone likes the 3-eye blind.
Oh, there's a second X-Cal. Because Dinglu now has one as well. Treasure is randomized. We don't have standard treasures in here, so there was a chance we'd get more than one X-Cal. That's going to play out really well, actually, for Corito if he decides to get both of those.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to play out well for everyone else if they get both of those, because that's probably going to sell for a decent chunk of change, since...
Your floater money, yeah.
Yeah, since treasure value is based on the original item and not whether or not that item has been cursed to heck.
And how many times it might show up. Cube at Ordeals, which means Sky Palace is now open to us. And Gang has decided he really likes that eye tile, and he's going to just go grind on it for a while.
I don't hate this. He's presumably got enough healing to where he can pick his party back up before heading back in. He's got an X-Cal, which, again, even with the -2 on it, you're still hitting vulnerabilities. You're still... It's still swinging pretty hard.
Oh, it's doing work.
Yeah, like, you can definitely get that party up to a decent level and have plenty of cash to pick up that floater.
Oh, yeah, and something to mention, and the reason why that X-Cal is doing so much damage. I mean, if you see, the Red Mage is swinging it for like 380, 400 sometimes. I think it was doing like upwards of 700 against the Zombie Ds. That's because the weapon damage elemental bonus has been cranked up. Oh god, the Phantom! Get away from this! There you go. So yeah, that was a change that Dingwu made 2 weeks ago. He decided to change the weapon bonus of elemental damage from +10 to +35. So anything that has an elemental weakness that you're hitting it for is going to take serious damage. And the X-Cal hits every single elemental weakness.
Yeah, every elemental weakness, every species weakness.
Yep.
The only way you're avoiding the Wrath of the Excalibur is if you have no weaknesses and no typing.
And that's pretty much the only thing that suffers from that is Chaos.
Chaos, and I think War Mech also...
Oh yeah, War Mech, yeah. I don't think War Mech's weak to anything, you're right.
If War Mech has a type, it might be... No, I don't even...
Thunder? You would think robots and thunder, but I don't think it does.
No, War Mech doesn't have any elemental weaknesses. I'm trying to remember if it has a like species.
Do robots have a species weakness?
That's what I'm thinking, Melee. I think War Mech might technically be regen.
Regen, as Melee's saying regen, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is I know War Mech has regen, but I don't know if that means it has the regen type. Because I think there's only a handful of monsters that are considered regenerating.
Laura lives in chat saying War Mech type death. Well, yes, it does cause death. That is true.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Because, basically, enemies in Final Fantasy I both have their elemental vulnerabilities, but also most of them, like we said, have a type. So they might be a mage-type enemy, or a undead-type enemy. Or a beast-type enemy, and so that also plays a factor, because that certain weapons don't target elements, they target, like, what kind of a monster you're trying to hit. And that's what makes the X-Cal so good, is it hits everything.
What kind of a monster is Danglu? The kind that goes to Sky Palace early.
I don't hate it.
No. You got it. It's here. And you're getting sandwiches on the way. I mean, who doesn't like a party platter of food when you're on your way towards something?
Yeah. I wonder, did he have the money to pick up Nuke?
I don't know. I didn't see him, but he did a lot of grinding, so I would assume, yeah, Melee's saying he did. And I mean, he was there and he had all that money off the ice. He was sitting at what, like 50, 60,000? So,
yeah. So, no, yeah. I definitely don't hate this play then, because you've got
the levels and spells.
Yeah, my standing rule is, if you have access to more than a couple of shots of Nuke, and you have access to Sky, you go Sky. Because you'll pick up whatever experience you need on the way, and you can use Nuke to clear things out. You might have to make a couple of trips in, like go in, clear out a floor, go out and save, get your spells back, but you'll very quickly rack up what you need to get through Sky.
Chimeras have Lightning 2 followed by Mute, and Daewoo resets off of them because not worth it. Meanwhile, Aelmarkin over at the Vampire Chest in Earth did get the Ruby, which means that once he's done here at Earth, assuming he survives, he'll be able to go over and check both what's over at Titan Trove and what's at Sarda.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Kirito and Demon look like it looks to me like they are currently trying to sort of put together their overall game plan, just sort of getting their parties prepped, getting everything they need to start making these dives that...
Pocket full of change for that floater.
Yeah. But yeah, they're definitely doing what they need to prepare for making these dives. And yeah, Ale already...
You're a lich? Yeah. that was I was looking at his screen and I swear I didn't even see the lich.
Yeah. So yeah, Dang I think has 3 shots of nuke left, all on that black mage. That's fine. He's got a red mage for the next scowl.
And he knows where the treasure is here that he actually wants. And he's got Brack, so he could even take out Tiamat if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
Could try anyway.
Yeah, where is Warmech standing today? Ah, alright. Just an RNG shot on the bridge,
yep.
So...
Now, we did get RNG a little while ago, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, where we got, like, Warmech has 2 or 3 encounters in a row, and that was hilarious.
I mean, it's good eating if you can...
you can do it. Oxyale, that opens up C. So with the... We're just really missing the key and the loot at this point, and then we could go anytime we wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dang, I think, is going to go ahead and try to take out Tiamat.
Ooh, Sunsword +3, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's an endgame sword for us again when we're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before Dang sells this one, too.
And here is the other thought behind this. You got the X-Cal, you got a Sunsword. If you have enough shots of your Temper and your Fast, if maybe if you find a Power Bonk, you could have a viable 2 melee strat going this time around. You don't have to just rely on the Thief.
Yeah.
Okay, Ael's in the air. He's got the floater up. And now he's over at Sarda. We're going to actually get to see what this is. Sarda has TNT. The quest chain continues.
Mm-hmm. It's nice to get that when you already have the airship, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
mm-hmm.
It becomes a lot more palatable to do these fetch quests when you can just fly around and turn them all in. Until suddenly you hit... Sorry.
You're good. Daegu enjoying his walking grind right here, which I can't really say I hate. It's not bad.
No, that's what I was saying, is the thing about Sky is if you have the firepower to win a couple of fights, it just snowballs so quickly. Like, I'm the kind of person who's like, am I level 8 and do I have the spells I need? Okay, if I can get into Sky, I'm gonna try Sky.
So 2 shots of Brack are ineffective, but the 2 mages with Brack are back on their feet, and the Thief wakes up immediately as well. I did miss what the Titan had. Oh, it looks like it was Crown. Okay. Mm-hmm. Black Mage is having to swing a stick because he doesn't have any more shots of Brack. Or maybe he messed... Okay, that was a mess up. Oh, another miss. And the X-Cal Red Mage is down, and this is starting to look really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, doesn't matter.
Pieces, plenty of XP for those 2 mages, and Dang is immediately going to pick everyone up and gets into a fight.
Okay, and the crown became the key, so we are 1 item away from our go mode.
Well, no mode, because...
Well,
yeah,
our go mode, yeah.
Yeah. Either way, we've got 2 orbs lit, and they are at the extreme opposite ends of the...
I mean, honestly,
runniness.
I give like Ale has more clearance right now, and he's got the floater. Dangwoo has, I think, the harder of the orbs lit though, so they're running pretty close to each other right now.
Yeah, because the thing is Dang is almost certainly about to go get his floater, get his airship, and do everything that Ale just did. Ugh.
No, apparently Dang is going to go over to Waterfall and do this instead. Dang loves to defy expectations. Oh,
Yeah.
Provoca. Okay.
I mean, I don't hate it. It's on your way back to your floater and all of that, so you can get it done.
Yeah. No, you're in the area. You want to be efficient about your area zoning.
Okay, that Saber is going to be ninja learnable, so that is something that will help out.
Benefits him and benefits the melee red mage in the process.
Yeah. It's not a lot of firepower, but it will help.
And I'm guessing from the fact that I don't see anything lit up, the TNT was a dud.
What, I thought it was funny.
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I think I must have been muted. So now we're gonna fight BK the Pirate. See what it is that he has here at Onrak.
Now we
TNT was the herb. Okay.
Okay, we do have unsafe pirates on, but it doesn't matter because the Black Mage goes first and sets them all on fire because we don't have buffed pirates on.
So Sarda had the TNT, which led to the herb, which now leads to the bottle. Meanwhile,
and
pirates
there's our
have the
instrument.
bagpipe. Yep. So that's our loot. So that means that we are technically in no mode right now, and whatever that bottle becomes is entirely useless to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we know how to get through the seed. The only thing we're lacking knowledge of that our runners probably would really like to know about is the tail.
Yep, and I was just going to say that as well. Best case scenario for Ale, this becomes the tail, and that gives him another leg up. Vanilla Pro Rings for only just shy of 7K. That's not a bad price at all for that.
Yeah, and the nice thing is I think we saw those in either Gaia or Canaria, so Dang won't need to worry about coming all the way back here for them.
Nope. Yeah, that was definitely Canaria, because Ale's right there right now.
Okay, for some reason I thought I saw them on Dang's side. Whatever.
You're good. So this puts us at a sub-half-hour no mode, and that's really speedy.
Mm-hmm. The only question is, how long is it going to take for one of the runners on screen to put it all together? Because right now, so Kirito is currently following El Markin's tracks, at least as far... Actually, they're both... Kirito and Demon are currently heading into Earth Cave, so...
Red Mage swinging against a Gas D for over 600 damage. That's just sick.
Okay. So, I think right now, I might have to give the edge to Dangwoo.
Oh, with Ale going off and doing places he doesn't need to, yeah.
Well, not just that, but everyone else is so far kind of following the same track, doing that Earth Cave play.
Mm-hmm.
When Dang gets around to Earth Cave, he is going to fly through it.
Mm-hmm.
But
and not just because he'll have the floater at that point.
But more importantly, we know almost all of the early game checks are useless. So if all three of the other runners that we have on screen are doing kind of the same pattern that L's doing of, kind of doing your early game check downs, getting experience and building yourself up for the later parts, they're going to be a good ways off from really getting what they need. And if Dang kind of continues this reverse order thing he's apparently doing, he's going to have everything he needs pretty much before he actually gets too deep into the early game stuff.
two important things to point out. Danglu got the crystal off of the robot. Of course, we do not know what that is going to lead to, but we know it's not going to be anything super important. Meanwhile, apparently the power bonk was in the upper treasury of Earth 4.
Okay. Well, that's okay.
Useful.
Yeah.
One of the power bonks. There could be multiple. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, so here is the question then. You have that power bonk available. Do you throw it onto your red mage for now? Yeah, you throw it onto your red mage for now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just to have until your thief actually gets what he needs.
And a ribbon over in ice. That's nice. Again, none of these things are guaranteed. The X-Cal wasn't guaranteed. Those power bonks weren't guaranteed. The ribbons aren't guaranteed. Anything we find is gravy right now.
Yeah, so we're about to see what is sitting here at the back of Ice Cave.
A bunch of junk. And some mummies.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be the slab, or it's a dud. Oh, I forgot about the tail. Or the tail, apparently, so that does help Ale Markin.
Yeah, alright. So, that does swing things back a little bit, because Ice Cave seems like one of those things Dang's gonna hold off on, and I didn't even catch that we have +4 ice swords.
Yeah, I just saw that too.
Here in Melmond, so
looks like flame armor or flame shield as well here. That's a lot of good gear sitting out there for a ninja if you took one, which you more than likely did.
So I think, so between Melmond and Elfland, we pretty much have our kit for our ninja. So it's just a matter of getting that tail turned in, getting that ninja online, and then getting the spells we need. And didn't see what Lich has done to Kirito's party, but only two red mages got out.
Thief was there at the beginning, and I'm not sure whether or not he had the X-Cal because he wasn't swinging it. So he was just down to 3 red mages for it, and they were blasting away with fire and fire too.
Yeah. I mean, it's also one of those things. I know I missed the +35 thing. That's something else to take into consideration. He may have missed out on.
It's possible.
Yeah. The knowledge that even at -2, that Excalibur is still going to hit like a truck.
Which we've seen. Ale Markin going over and immediately doing his class change.
Yeah, no, that is the correct move. So
yes. Well, you're above level 15. I think he was like level 18, level 19. So at this point, any levels he gets before his class change is just going to be burning spell charges. He wants to get that as soon as he can. Get that saber on that ninja, be ready to roll.
Yeah. And I mean, it's one of those things, there's still a lot of stuff to do, and, you know, El Markin is still hunting for those remaining key items. He doesn't know yet that, you know, he has to do Sky before Sea.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a Katana.
Woo!
Okay. Ninja's got a weapon.
Ninja's happy, Red Mage is happy, everybody's happy.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things you can, you can even throw that Sun Sword onto the into the Red Mage's inventory and swap him out before Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll probably not lose too many beats against Chaos. So, alright, so Dang looks like heading to Volcano.
Didn't want to do Kraken. I can't exactly blame him for that.
Because, yeah, he's still hunting for the key. That's the piece of the puzzle Dang Wu's missing as far as mandatory items. And obviously, he wants that tail. Everyone on the screen wants that tail. Except maybe Kirito, and that's mostly because, you know, his thief has been very, very sleepy today.
Well, and with his triple Red Mage party, the emphasis for him really is on those Red Mages. And actually, looks like he's just going to roll 2 Red Mages for a while.
Yeah, I don't hate it. You get a lot of good power on those red mages. You can... Like, he may have an eye toward that level 5 nuke and having enough, like, shots on it. Oh, hey, there's a second Sun Sword in Temple of Fiends.
That would actually be our third, because there's... Oh, no, Sun Sword, you said. Sun Sword, never mind.
Yeah. Defense swords are at -1, but...
Ruse is ruse.
Yeah, any situation where you are actually swinging the defense sword, regardless of blursing, is a situation where things have gone desperately off the rails.
I've been in those situations before, and let me tell you, I really wish I had a different weapon at that point.
Yeah, it's one of those things. The defense sword isn't a bad sword. It's a slightly worse sun sword, statistically speaking. It's just that it's just on that cusp of actually being a good weapon that it feels bad to swing it vanilla.
I think I've heard people say that on the list of like the top 5 or so weapons, defense sword is number 6.
That's not an unfair assessment. It's one of those things. If you have a defense sword, you can beat, I'd say, anything up to 200% scaling. Like, any seed up to 200% scaling, a defense sword will get you through it if that is your only weapon. But you really don't want it to be your only weapon. You just don't. And in this case, I think we have a defense -1, so, like, now it's just kind of an ice sword that casts ruse.
Yeah, no, and you're just going to keep it around for the ruse at that point. You don't necessarily care about the rest of that. Yeah. There is our slab, which definitely isn't going to lead to much of anything, except maybe the adamant that leads to nothing.
Hold on, I think Ale just realized that he doesn't have NPC guillotine on. He definitely just tried to kill the old woman in front of the black magic shop, and then realized that no, you just have to wait for her to move.
I think that one is just because she has extra lines of dialogue, so she can't be guillotined.
I have never talked to her in my recollection, so I have no idea.
Guillotine is on. I think she's just impervious.
Okay.
Yeah, because the NPC guillotine, for those that don't know, you can kill any NPC in the game by talking to them, so long as they only have one line of dialogue. Those NPCs that change what they say based on, like, events in the game that you've succeeded at doing and stuff like that, they won't die.
Mm-hmm. And that's because, if I'm not mistaken, the main purpose of the guillotine is to kill those bats in caves, and that was the only way to discriminate, like, the bats from, say, NPCs that give you things that you're not that you don't want dead, because
then they'll give you things. Yeah.
Yeah, it messes up the scripting because Final Fantasy I is held together with Bondo and baling wire.
It's so well programmed, how could you say that?
Okay, I do joke there, but Final Fantasy I, like, considering what the code looks like, is a surprisingly functional video game. That's the end of the thought. It should not work as well as it works.
It's amazing it functions at all sometimes.
I do. That is one of the things that I enjoy about the Final Fantasy I randomizer compared to, like, other randomizers, is, like, you know, other randomizers give you an appreciation for the forethought and the way that the game is structured and the beauty of it. And you get to Final Fantasy I, you just look at it and it's just like, how'd this piece of crap ever work?
No, it's true. It's absolutely true.
How did we play this game? How did we play this game and not constantly get frustrated because things that should have worked didn't?
We played it despite the game is how it was. Like, the number of bug fixes they had to put in there for the spells alone, just because, like, the spells didn't work as intended half the time.
The other half the time, the spells just didn't work.
Yeah, no. Like if you tried to use X-Fur, it didn't do anything. But then of course, like Temper didn't do anything. And then there were ones like, what was it? Slow
Lock.
that actually sped up the characters or something.
No, it was Lock that
There you
made
go.
the enemies more evasive.
Yeah, more evasive instead of, intended behavior.
But yeah. Oh, yeah, no, the swords were... Yeah, justifiable in chat pointing out the swords didn't work as intended. Oh, no, the swords were just a complete train wreck.
The swords worked better than intended.
Oh, yeah, that was not even touching on the crit rate thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because the swords were supposed to reference their actual crit rate, but instead their crit rate referenced their order in the pool of weapons. So, like, some weapons that were higher in the pool crit better than they were supposed to simply by existing.
AKA, the Excalibur just destroyed everything.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, so long story short, this game is hilarious for both for reasons that were not intended. But yeah, getting back to the original point though, so the guillotine had to be coded in such a way where you wouldn't accidentally kill the NPC who was supposed to hand you an item before their script finished executing. And the easiest way to discern between them and the things you wanted to kill was how many lines of dialogue do they have.
Was that a second defense sword? Because I saw one right there in the Grey Worm chest. That's two right there in Volcano alone.
I think so, because I think the other defense sword we found, wasn't that like at the second intersection on Agama Floor?
Okay, so that's two. Two defense swords. Again, your melee party of a red mage and a thief is gonna be amazing at the end game.
Hey, we just got a ribbon from that crystal.
2 ribbons, 2 defense swords, 2 good swords. Woo! If you take the time to actually do some gear collecting here, this is working out for you.
Yeah, and that might work against Dang Wu, because I think that other ribbon, that was an ice cave, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ribbon and ice.
Yes.
So I don't think he picked that up, because I think I only saw 1 ribbon in his menu. We'll get another look here after this class change real quick. Yeah.
I honestly feel like this seed is benefiting people by not giving them the black belt, because they are more inclined to go gear hunting than they might have been otherwise.
Yeah, okay, so he skipped whatever chest had that ribbon in it in Ice Cave. He's only got the ribbon from Matoya.
One is better than none, though.
Yeah. So, that's... And I believe he's got that mounted on his white mage, maybe?
Second slot, whatever that is.
Yeah, I don't think his red mage was his second slot.
Melee was letting us know it was the frosty room on that ice cave floor that had the ribbon.
Shoutouts to Melee, who is our tracker for tonight, if we haven't mentioned that already. He has been both keeping us honest and making sure that we actually know where things happened. And
he's making sure we know what we're talking about, which is a rare thing.
I mean, he can try. But yeah, so Dang, I don't think did any looting in Cardia, so I don't think has that Katana plus 4.
Mm-mm.
So that is...
Not that I can blame him, because I'm, most of the time I'll skip past Cardia too, just because of the fact that I have better places I need to be, quote-unquote, you know?
So, my line of thinking is, I will loot if I know that I don't have the tools I need. So Dangwu is much better than me, so he may be looking at what he has and saying, I don't need to go to get anything else that I don't need to go out of my way to loot. I can win with what I have with this scaling. I just need my progression.
So to point out, Ale Market is at 2 crystals, Dangwu is at 2 crystals, and Demon RHK, who hasn't even finished grabbing all of his stuff, is also going to be at 2 crystals in just a moment, assuming he kills this Gary.
Yeah. So, Ah, we have a Vorpal sword on the table too. So that's another. That's an option for both the ninja and the red mage. Even
Yeah,
at -1, I think
I
that's still. I think that's definitely better for the ninja than the red mage, but it is an option.
time-wasting gargoyles with Aether. That's lovely. Looks like second slot is in fact that red mage, so red mage is well protected with that ribbon.
Yeah. So I feel like right now Dangwu is kind of is putting a lot on that red mage with that X-Cal, which I don't hate that at all.
Well, he's got the X-Cal, he's got the ribbon, and he has life too. So even if the entire party wipes it, like in Topher, aside from the red mage can still carry.
Yeah, red mage will finish whatever fight killed everyone else.
Yes, and bring him back.
And then pick up the white mage to revive everyone else because the red mage has better things to do with his spells.
Exactly, and I think he should have a defense sword, so red mage should be set.
Yeah.
And just 650k at the blacksmith. He took your gold brick and turned it into spending cash. Apparently he's running a mint.
Yeah. So, let's see. Ale finally heading into ordeals, so he's gonna pick up the cube. So he's finally catching up to what Dang has already done. He's gonna get through a little bit faster because he's already got that airship.
Meanwhile, unfortunately, Dang did do at least part of the Earth Cave checks, including that Sarda train, so he may accidentally fall down that path that we know isn't going to lead anywhere. But he is checking Earth 4, should be rewarded.
Yeah, the Ruby is going to take him to the Titan. And the Titan, I believe, had the crown, and the crown is what gave us the key. So he needs that Ruby.
There is that power bonk. Dang will probably happy about that. And putting it on his red mage, because of course he is.
Like I said, at this stage of affairs, he has that red mage is good for everything but Garland, or not Garland, but Chaos. Because Dang's already cleared the Bridge of Destiny. He doesn't need to worry about killing Warmech. And everything that's not Chaos, that red mage is going to do work on. And you give him fast and access to the bonk and ruse, and
I think even Chaos could fall to him.
I feel like a -2 X-Cal in a red mage's hands just isn't going to have enough oomph unless we just have the least dodgy Chaos possible.
Very not dodgy and not much of a spell list so that you can get him rused up completely and not have to worry. So you can just, sit there for days just like buffing.
Yeah, the red mage is definitely going to need help dealing with Chaos. So we still want to have tools for that ninja to fall on, because we're going to need that ninja for Chaos. Either that, or Dang's going to need to get the bottle, pop it open, get that Vorpal sword. Because yeah, a Vorpal -1, even in a red mage's hands, you can bonk up and get it done.
And Dangwu doing Dangwu things by trying to zap Lich.
Only because he doesn't have Quake. But yeah, so anyway, the point being, I think gearing up that red mage and leaning on him for most of the seed is not a terrible play. It's just actually killing Chaos, where I think Dangwu's either going to need help from how Chaos rolled, or he's going to need to gear the ninja up with something a bit beefy.
Well, there is his crown, so this, if you're right, this should take him over to the key, and this will give him his go mode, basically.
Yeah, because he can
do everything else.
Yeah, he's got everything else. He just needs to go kill Kraken, get whatever he needs for his party in terms of levels and gear, and dive right in.
He will be on his way at this point. As soon as he feels like it. He may want more levels, yeah.
Well, I think... So, yeah, if he's going for the melee red mage chaos kill, he's definitely going to want at least high 20s, early 30s, just to have more than a couple of swings on that X-Cal.
Those are Frosties with less than 200 health. I mean, I could see soloing on that tile, because that's just, kill those for days.
You're gonna have plenty of fire 2s.
Yep.
So, Dang going back to finally do his low-level spell purchasing, which may have just been getting that red wizard life too.
Most important thing you can do with that red mage at this point.
Yeah. So,
Kale making his way through Sky Palace, and still looting, still looking for more gear.
Yeah, so Demon getting his key, and Kirito went ahead and hit Lefane up. I missed what was in Lefane, but we are going to get a reprise here with Dang. Okay, it was the Adamant. I had forgotten about that.
And that will lead to money.
Yeah, so... Then our magic shops, we have one of the level 7 shops.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in spite of not having any of the, balanced distribution flags on, I'm pretty sure our magic shops kind of rolled in tears today.
They did. They kind of did.
Which, it happens. Rando gonna rando. Okay, so... what did the herb get us?
A good time. Herb led to... Tail, didn't it?
No, Tail was in
Tail was an ice cave. Herb led to something.
Might have been Bottle?
Herb led to Bottle, Bottle led to Vorpal. That's what it was.
Okay. So...
we got level 5 Fade along with level 5 Nuke. Woo.
Okay.
Gives your white mage something to do.
Yeah, less good for the red mages, but really good for making sure that the rest of your mages have something to do with their level 5 slots.
And with Dang in go mode, he is just beelining it straight to Kraken.
Yeah, no, he is stopping to take this fight. I like it.
EXP Pinatas is one of the best EXP A-sides in the game.
Yeah. Alright, I didn't see what weapon he had on his ninja, but he just swapped, I think it was a +2 rune, and he just swapped it to a +3 coral. Yeah. I think.
Well, he's in C. The coral will actually do work here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think if I'm in Dangwoo's shoes at this point, once I'm getting ready for Topher, I go back to Melman, I get that +4 ice sword. Yeah,
hopefully you write that down.
It doesn't have, any remarkable stats to get improved on, but the ice sword on its own is a generally sturdy sword, and with that +4, it's definitely in-game quality, and the slightly softer scaling, I would consider it an in-game sword.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you on that. Yeah, the +4 elevates it substantially from where it starts.
Yeah, where it starts is, again, kind of like the defense sword, it's on that cusp of in-game, just kind of where the defense sword is barely over the hump, the ice sword is barely behind the hump, but that +4 puts it squarely in in-game sword territory, so hopefully, yeah, Dang at least remembers he's got that ice sword that he can go pick up for a song, strap onto his ninja, and have 2 really strong melees, and at least someone who can do work on chaos at the end. But Demon, meanwhile, is going to get his katana +4.
Which, as if he wasn't already, will strongly encourage him to class change as soon as he goes to Ice Cave. Oh wait, he already has class change.
Ice Cave. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he's just.
There he is.
I think he's just doing his looting before that long walk down to Bahamut, so he is
Smart.
probably going to go do that right this second because he now knows. Or he's going
I'm ready
to
roll
first.
Yeah, get your gear out of the way.
Alright, so Dang going to go ahead and go deal with Kraken. Gonna go for bracking for Brack strats on, or it looked like he was gonna go for Brack strats. Might have
water
backed out.
creature with fire spells, interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so he's been thinking about bracking Kraken and then realizing, you know what? There's a good chance I'm gonna miss. I'm hitting this guy for 1,000 HP a turn. I'm just going to take care of my business and move on. Well, 700 HP a turn.
I mean, when you're chunking out damage like that, making sashimi out of the squid, you're doing pretty well.
Okay. Meanwhile, Elmarkin going ahead and looking in mermaids.
Well, he's still looking for that loot. He doesn't know where it is yet, and unfortunately, it turns in he manages to get the cabin, the glorious key cabin.
Mm-hmm. Aw, Gale, don't take your frustrations out on the mermaids.
Die, Bubbles, die! She had it coming. I for some reason, I'm sure. Must have insulted him in a past life or something.
So meanwhile, Dang going straight into Temple of Fiends. I didn't see what, if any, preparations he made before heading down here. I don't think he did much of anything.
No. He did his preparations before he even went to Kraken, flew down here, and he's good to go. He thinks. Which does make him the first into the Temple of Fiends by a large margin that we know of.
Yeah. Because, right now, so Kirito needs to go to Ordeals to get his cube, to get his Oxyale for Go Mode. Demon and Elmarkin both have to go to the on-rack location to go into Provoca to fight the pirates to get the instrument. Demon also still needs to climb the tower to get the Oxyale. So everyone's only a couple of steps away from their Go Mode. It's just them getting there.
Would not surprise me if Dingwu, after taking a couple of these Gatsby fights that he's doing, decides to exit out, save, come back in, because he may not have the levels. It depends on how he's feeling.
Yeah. So Dang, to Dang's credit, he is generally comfortable with a lot of marginal strats.
Yes.
So.
Oh, we had another Vorpal over at the Sharknado room. And validating the seed by checking one of the treasure chests. And now we're deep into Temple of Fiends Revisited itself. Free run. Oh, I was about to say free run, but not a free run. Ooh, slimes. Didn't they have thunder? That's not fun. Here's how we're going to try and take the fight. There's that thunder we didn't want to see. Comment in chat that Dang didn't check Hall of Giants. I do believe that is correct. Free run on that floor, and now he is onto the earth floor and able to go see what maybe Lich has. And that was a sub-hour entrance into the Temple of Fiends Revisited. Dang made work of this flag set. That'll put aisle marker 4 on the floor right there, having just killed Kraken himself very quickly. So we're going to have 2 runners in the Temple of Fiends shortly, but Dangwu definitely has a substantial lead right now. Not that it isn't, like, a lead that could fall apart at any second. It's Temple of Fiends is the Temple of Fiends, and Rando is gonna Rando. And without even, like, any real effort, Dang has killed Lich, too, and he's on to the carry floor and just continues trucking. Meanwhile, Ale's coming in here for the robot. Can't remember what the robot has.
Okay, Darkmoon, how long have you not been able to hear me, and why didn't you say, huh, that's weird, I haven't been able to hear Wout for a while?
I put a text in the chat room that we use for the Discord.
Yeah, a minute ago.
I just finally realized you were talking! And I was trying not to draw attention to it.
I've been sitting over here having brilliant commentary, wondering why you kept interrupting me, and then I finally looked over and was like, my little thing's not lighting up. I don't know how long no one's been able to hear me.
About 3 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
I heard you go quiet, and I'm like, that's odd. Normally he's much more talkative than this.
Okay. I don't remember any of the brilliant insights I had.
That's
Just
fine.
trust that they were genius, and yeah, so...
Much smarter than anything I had to say. It's great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was annoyed that you kept cutting me off for such banalities, but whatever. Okay. But,
Carrie apparently has nuclear, but low rolls on most of that, so not too scary so far. Still doesn't want to die, though. There goes that ninja.
that's fine. He's not the important one in Dangwu's party.
Nope, and Crack is a free turn as far as Dangwu is concerned. Still standing, though. Carrie must have some serious resistance here. Oh, she's also just dodgy, so... Down there were 2.
So, do you remember way back at the beginning of the seed when we saw the level 2 black magic spells, and I was like, yeah, no, Fire 2 and Ice 2 are great, but I'll tell you, there's a third... That third spell at level 2 is the one they're going to want at the end.
Saber?
Lock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of the changes that the randomizer puts into play that is enabled on these flags and most flags is making it so that Lock and Lock 2 will almost always hit. If not always hit. Like, I can't remember if there's like a 1 in 256 chance that they'll miss. But the point being, with these flags and most flags that are run with the rando, Lock is the unsung hero of way too many seeds.
Mm-hmm. Lock is great. The fact that it will always hit is such a good spell. And I know there are Iron Gall players, Iron Gall being our max difficulty style playsets, but there are Iron Gall players that will purposely turn down Lock or turn off the Lock fixes, but those Lock fixes are absolutely essential sometimes.
Yeah, like my preferred phrase for Lock is the poor man's fast.
It is. It really is. Can't get hits on a guy, don't have fast, or even if you already have cast fast and you're just not getting the hits in, probably means that the boss you're fighting is way too evasive and you just need to slow them down. Which you can see Dangwu is doing right there to try and get more hits in for his red mage.
Yeah, and it looks like it immediately paid off. And Kraken, too.
Being Kraken.
Does what Kraken 2 does best, and immediately goes, oh, you're the useful one.
Yep. I'm gonna wipe you out even after you just healed. And it's very useful because the ninja is getting nothing with that coral sword.
Well, that Kraken's got slow too. I have to wonder if the ninja got slowed out the gate.
I saw that the white mage did get slowed, so that doesn't help. 2 hits for 64, that's gonna go up to, like, more. Oh, never mind. This is dire.
And we are now to Fade and Nuke strats, just trying to finish Kraken off before it finishes us off, and that's a swirl. Everyone lives who wasn't already dead.
Not anymore.
Oh, yeah, but that was the Lit 2. That's different.
I survived the swirl. I died to the Lit 2.
Exactly.
Is he out of spells?
He is out of fades.
And he doesn't have a weapon. He's gonna punch. Oh, just for good. Kraken, you're a jerk.
So anyway, El Markin is now in the lead.
Not that I want to laugh at that, but wow, that segue right there.
I mean, Dang died. Ale is on Earth floor. Ale's in the lead.
That is what I was saying though at the start though. You're one wipe away in Temple of Fiends from like your lead suddenly just changing.
Yeah, and that's okay. That was what I was saying right before I realized that you couldn't hear me. Was like, as long as this randomizer has been around, as far as I know, Temple of Fiends has been called the Great Equalizer.
Yep.
And yeah, that's because like, out of basically every rando I know of, Final Fantasy 1 is one of the most brutal. Like, it doesn't matter what flags you have on. It doesn't matter what, party you have. With a few exceptions. It is entirely possible for Temple of Fiends to just kick you right out if you just catch the wrong script at the wrong time.
That was really... Oh, and we can see Ding was now grinding on Gasties and other things here because he just wants levels. That is really just, like, a trademark of the 3 NES Final Fantasies especially, is that their end dungeons are kind of cruel by design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This one has, like, before this, the worst dungeon you have is maybe Sky Palace, which is, like, 5 floors that you have to work through. This one is, like, 9 floors of hell at a certain point, and the bosses just get worse and worse as you go. If you play... Like, Final Fantasy 2 has a similar one, but Final Fantasy 3 is especially rough because of that. Like, you have to get through, like, 3 floors of hell just to get down to, like, a dungeon that has a new set of bosses in the dungeon, and even before that, there's still another dungeon beyond. It's rough. This is just how Final Fantasy goes, and it's unforgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, no, So the real question in my mind is, when are we going to implement the other 2 NES Final Fantasy final dungeons in FF1?
I mean, there was a time where, like, I think back when I first started with the community, and you and I would, like, bandy around ideas, and we'd go, but this will never happen, because there's no way the devs would ever make this. And then we got a crew of devs on right now that will, like, do anything. So... I mean, it's entirely possible someone could program those dungeons in, and I believe Ale wiped, and now we have 2 parties on the exact same floor. In the exact same party.
Yeah. So Dang, I think, got the levels he wanted. Ale escapes from the gargoyles faster. And I don't know what equipment he's got.
Ale or Dang? Ale had 2 ribbons. Ale has 2 defense swords. Ale has fire and ice armor on that ninja.
And he's got the katana +4.
Katana and the X-Cal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like he's got the better gear build out, but apparently the bosses didn't feel like that was the case.
Yeah. No, and that's
the game.
Yeah. No, that's for the longest time, Kraken 2 just like. No matter what flags we went with, somehow was always just the worst.
Oh yeah. No, and I want to, like, Chad is commenting that the boss rushes in the later Final Fantasies are bad too. Final Fantasy V especially. The one thing about the later ones with the SNES, and I guess to a certain extent if you save between dungeons in Final Fantasy III to an extent, although I don't think it's as nice there, is there are save points throughout the dungeons. You have that save point in the Lunar Subterrane in 4. There's the prison that has a save point in 5. You can get like halfway in and actually save yourself and then go back and save again. I feel like the early Final Fantasies were especially nasty about, you're here, you're going to have to run the gauntlet all at once with, like, no forgiveness.
Also, 2 words. Limited inventory.
Yeah. Especially, like, the inventory got much bigger in the later games, and we've lost the red mage again on Dengwu's side.
It's fine, the white mage is still alive.
Maybe.
For another 36 HP.
Health is a resource. All you need is 1.
Okay, fine. The white mage still has 35 more hit points to spare, and that was all that was needed.
There you go, see? Yeah, perfectly fine. We're fine. We're just fine. Now I think he went back to the rune sword now.
I don't know why he's not using that sun sword.
Does he have it?
I thought I saw it in his weapon menu.
Oops. Well, we'll ask him about that afterwards. Dang, did you remember your sun sword?
Yeah, Dang definitely picked that sun sword up, and I'm positive he didn't sell it. So yeah, that should be that sun sword in his inventory, and unless I'm just completely misreading it, that's definitely a sun sword with a bonus.
Yeah, sun sword plus 3, I believe. So Ale is just a few steps ahead of Dang. He's at the carry fight, having his red warrior, I guess is what it is, really doing work right now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
yeah, Demon is dealing with Tia 1. Should be through her without too much difficulty, unless she just headhunts that red mage right now.
And that should help him get 3 on the floor at that point. Oh, and he's even using the Bane sword. Good use there.
Yeah, I don't hate it. His ninja still has that katana, so it's also hitting really hard. Did Carrie take out Dang?
I think, yeah, Carrie had to have because he didn't get past it. That Carrie is nasty. She hits hard and she has nuclear. At least 1.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's something else that I like, that I tend to point out is Carrie is a feast or famine fiend.
Yeah.
Either you just wipe the floor with her, or she is a brick wall that you just have to muscle through. Because the thing with both Carry 1 and Carry 2, they have some of the highest magic defenses in the game. So you have to just outmuscle them most of the time. And if you have a dodgy carry like what we're seeing in Temple of Fiends right now, that's not easy.
So we got Kraken here coming up against Ale's party, whipping out Tornado. Ale's party's rusted out over 1,000 damage with that katana. 444 that time. Gonna continue healing, gonna try and keep up. Kraken slow twos, and I think that actually landed. Oh, and a big hit. Gonna try and nuke down and hope to get through this. Yeah, that definitely hit. He has no hits off of that ninja now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, and now he's down to those 2 because the white mage is gone.
So...
This is a serious gatekeeper Kraken.
Yeah, so Demon right now has a really good chance of catching up here in this Temple of Fiends.
It does!
Kirito, a little bit slower. It's one of those things. I do apologize that we've kind of been focused more on the lead than on what's been happening with him, but he is making steady progress. He's working his way toward that tail, and once he has that in hand, I think he'll be a lot happier.
Well, he has his go mode other than that, so it's just... No, wait, he doesn't have Oxyel yet.
No. But he is... I think probably what slowed him down the most is because that Life 2 is in that red wizard locked slot. He just hasn't had many options for picking his party up when things go wrong.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. He's kind of had to take things at a bit different a pace. And a lot of that is just the damage spells he probably was counting on didn't land where he needed them.
No, magic was bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the risk of the red mage strat versus the mage rainbow strat, is sometimes You just don't have the spells land where you need them.
So I want to point out that where Kraken was an absolute bear to get through, Tiamat just fell over. So Ael's already past Tiamat.
But he has no Life 2 casters.
He has no Life 2 caster, and he is taking a beating from these airs right here, which is getting pretty scary at this point. If he doesn't... Oh, God.
He's got 55 HP. He's fine. He's got 7 HP. Okay, he had to reset. And hello everyone coming in from SpeedGaming 1.
Thank you for the raid. That was, you just saw Ale get destroyed right there, and we feel bad about that. So we are now focused once again back on Dangwoo, who is taking his, I believe, third stab, quite literally, at Carrie.
Yeah, so this was a fairly fast seed. Up until about 20 minutes ago when Dangwoo got into the Temple of Fiends Revisited and discovered that Carrie 2 and Kraken 2
are a wall.
Say no. And Lich 2 says, hey, you're going to have to at least try.
Well, that's the thing that we were talking about with the bosses just a little bit ago, is we are used to Kraken being a wall, a gatekeeper. We're used to Gatekeeper Tiamat. We are... at times, very often, used to Chaos being a gatekeeper. Like, I'd say 50% of the time Chaos is awful, probably like 40% of the time either Kraken or Tiamat's going to be awful, and maybe 30% of the time both of them are. Carrie generally is not respected the way she should be, but if your scaling is high enough, you get that 1 in 10 carry that is just wretched. And then, you know, the 1 in 100 Lich actually can do something.
I feel like Lich gets at least a little bit of respect more often than 1 in 100. Or at least deserves respect a little bit more often than 1 in 100. But Dang has made it back to Kraken, while Ale has decided to return to Earth Cave and grind on some slimes for a hot minute.
I mean, you can take them out in a single round. There's no reason not to.
Yeah. If I had to guess, he's probably looking to hang enough experience on both the white and the red mage to make sure one of them is going to live through all the terrible things that happen here in Temple of Fiends.
The slimes destroy his black mage, and I think that's actually to his benefit.
Yeah, he is not leaning on that black mage for much of anything, aside from, you know, throwing a fast out round 1 and then hopefully living long enough to actually do the move.
Mm-hmm.
Demon, however, is in Temple of Fiends Revisited.
So, Demon is now in second place as far as the lead is concerned, and quickly catching up to Dangwoo, who is still trying to figure out his way through this Kraken. Bearing in mind, of course, part of Dangwoo's struggle is the fact that he only really has one melee person, because Kraken does not care about that ninja with the coral sword. Everyone else has a katana, he has a coral sword.
Well, he has a sun sword that he's not equipping for reasons that escape me.
This is not going well. Okay.
So anyway, Demon's in the lead.
Oh my god. This. Okay, so, you know, the thing is, I have a credit to my name for rolling, making awful flag sets and rolling terrible seeds. This did not seem like a terrible seed up until about 20 minutes ago. Now it's absolutely wretched. Oh, and Dangwoo, of course, didn't ever go do the Hall of Giants, so he doesn't know the slimes are right there.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so here, to Dangwoo's credit.
Yeah.
He has all the tools he needs to beat the seed. He knows that. He's good enough to know he has everything he needs.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, though, is to get those tools to their maximum advantage, he needs a few breaks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not rolling really fair for him right now, unfortunately. And that Kraken especially is nasty, because if you take the time to buff, he seems to come out with spells. And if you don't decide to buff your defenses, he just goes melee. Like, the Kraken is nasty no matter how you slice it.
And again, we can look at the code. We know that there's no special AI for Kraken 2. There's nothing in the game that makes him just the most conniving and brutal boss in the game. And yet,
he just is. Oh, yeah. Look at that white mage sitting there in the third slot. You think I won't notice? I'll notice.
Oh, you put you put your red mage there. Your red mage must be the important one. I'ma punch him.
I'm gonna punch him before you get a chance to do any rusing. Oh, look, he dead.
Alright, so with that, Kirito is now also class changed and does have that katana +4, so Dangwoo is officially the only person on screen who does not actually have a weapon.
Well, he has it! He's just not using it! He has a sun sword, as you said. You know, I have a feeling at this point, one of them is going to finish eventually, and the rest are just going to forfeit, because they're like, I'm done with this Kraken. I don't want to do this anymore. Oh no! Oh no! Demon just discovered the joy that is Carrie and lost both of his melee people.
He's still got his white mage. He can pull this out. He's trying to confuse Carrie too.
I mean, it's not that she can't be, but it's a very low chance.
The only reason you can confuse Carrie 1 is she is specifically vulnerable to it, and vulnerability basically takes away all of the advantage that having a high magic defense gives you.
That's not the case.
You're not getting that confused on Carrie 2. She is not vulnerable to status element effects. So she's
not vulnerable to anything. She just wiped the floor with that black mage. And the white mage. Effectively right down the road. Demon's staring going, do I really want to do this again?
Demon looks like he's heading back to Earth Cave to kill someone.
Yeah! Yeah! I've been there, Demon. I feel your pain, sitting there like, what am I doing?
And we do have some people in chat who decided to join the winning team and pull for Carrie.
I'm cheering for the Fiends!
I mean, so far they're winning.
They are! They are! We've seen... God, Dangwoo's been in here 3 times before. Ale had 3. Demon's got 1. They're like Heroes 0, Fiends 7 right now.
Well, hold on. Fiends 7... Air Elementals 1.
Okay. Fiends 6, Air Elementals 1. That's right. One of them was a draw.
Sorry, Ale.
Okay. Yeah.
I almost feel bad for pointing that out. And we've got a Falconic and a Fizzle Beef in chat. Falconic pointing out that there are chests south of Carrie 2 that can sometimes hold goodies.
And luck. Just pure luck. Here we go for round 4 for Dangwoo against Kraken.
Dang just immediately grabbing everything he can to try and get that red mage online enough to not die.
Not immediately die. Well, there goes that mage. God. Now he has to keep the red mage up because without the red mage, he has no life.
Yeah, and once again, I'm seeing that Sun Sword +3 sitting in the ninja's inventory, and we're going to have to ask Dan what he thinks Sun Sword's for.
I really don't know what he swung right there, but he just got like 450 off of... Was that the coral? He got 450 damage off the coral?
I thought that was the red mage swinging, but...
No, I was specifically paying attention to that, but... So far, okay.
How much health does this Kraken have? Because I think that's like been a 700 HP and a 600 HP hit, and
there we go.
Down.
Well, the one that died is the only one that you needed to be alive. So
yeah.
Woof. And we're back in it.
Alright, we know that this Tia 2 is going to go down.
Fairly quickly.
Ale
Dangwu doesn't know that.
Yeah, Ale... Yeah, that's right. That's the first time Dang's actually made it to Tia 2.
Yeah, and he just saw
so he's going to feel real bad when he...
Yeah, he will.
It's going to feel real bad for him here in a moment when he realizes that, like, Tia 2 is going to go down the first time he actually hits her.
But finally swings.
I mean, granted, that's because he's going to hit her for, like, 1,000 damage.
Yeah. There's 114 right there from that ninja. Another swing's going to come out soon from both of them, and he's continuing the temper. Ice 2, chip damage, swing, 416, okay. And 107. What is the red mage actually swinging? Because it's a red sword, it's not the X-Cal.
Did Dang not look at the bonuses and see that he... I don't know what the red... Are you sure that it's red and not just like an orange that reads as red because of the resolution?
Here, so, like, and it's doing pink, like, unless his color scope is very off on his emulator, that looks pink to me.
Well, we should see here in a minute, because I'm sure he's going to shuffle some stuff around before Chaos, assuming he doesn't. Alright, thank you, Fizzle, in chat for pointing it out. Yeah, I have no idea what that red mage is swinging then.
No.
Actually, yeah, the rune sword is pink. Alright,
Why would he swing the rune sword with the...
I don't understand anything anymore.
And how we are fighting the Grinch.
And... yeah, let's see...
Chaos at the same time. Okay, we got dueling end bosses here. Someone, we hope. Well, that was a really damaging nuke right there. That was like a high roll.
that's nuke. You know the situation is bad when you're just having everyone who can cast a healing spell go for it.
Yeah.
And the heal potion's out.
Yeah. Well, Ale's in the same boat. He did the exact same thing because that was really ugly.
Mm-hmm. So, he's buffing up that ninja with the katana.
And Dangwu is buffing up the, I guess, rune sword? Red mage?
I mean, it's a rune sword +2, but it's...
5 hits 135 is not going to cut out with the kind of damage that this Chaos is cranking out.
There are so many questions I have about Dangwu's equipment situation, and all of them begin and end with, Dangwu, what on earth is wrong with you? And the Red Mage is dead.
Red Mage is dead on Ale's side. Right before the Cure 4 could come off, because that's exactly what Chaos does.
So, it is down to Aelmarkin's Katana Ninja and White Mage just throwing heals out in a desperate attempt to keep them up in case that nuke comes back around. Oh, hi, Fast.
Huh? He's getting almost 1,000 damage from that ninja. Now we're down to hold A and pray, but he's buffed enough. And that's 1,600 damage right there. This was a chunky Chaos. Dang is not getting through this Chaos with the Rune Sword. And that's a finish for Aelmarkin. Wow, very quick there. So, official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, 39 seconds. That will do it for Ale. We are just hoping that somehow Dangwu can get through this. We'll invite them both in for an interview as soon as this is over with, but definitely got to run this out first. He's chunking out 300 or so, 500 right there. Starting to get the damage, starting to get the hits. 7 hits for 582. He's getting up there finally. And that's it. Oh, wow. With whatever it is Dangwu was swinging. Racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, 14 seconds. Only about 45 seconds apart. That's second place for Dangwu officially here and in the room. I will go see if they want interviews.
Yeah, and Demon, meanwhile, has continued his Earth Cave Grind, Kirito making his way through Volcano. Ooh, found an Agama tile, actually. I don't think anyone else actually checked for the Agama.
I didn't see them get a standing one that they could do, no. And apparently it's the Agama on the Agama.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, is I don't think anyone else actually checked Agama tile, because I would have noticed that was vanilla.
And we are now joined in the voice chat by Ale, and very shortly, Dangwoo as well. GG's to you both, good sirs.
Thank you.
Okay, Dang, I'm Ale, GG, but I need to start with Dang real quick. Dang, what was the bonus on that Sun Sword?
+3?
Is there a reason that it was just kind of sitting there not doing anything?
So the elemental bonuses are +35 damage. So that's the reason why I kept switching weapons around.
Yeah, it is +35, but at a certain point you were just kind of swinging whatever.
Yeah, okay, so
a high quality sun sword.
look, I wiped 3 times in Topher because I am just like I kept forget. Okay, so the first time I died, I forgot to equip the coral sword back on my ninja. So like he had the rune sword, and I kind of gave up there.
Okay, follow-up question then. What is the special property of the Excalibur?
It gives weaknesses to everybody, or you exploit the weaknesses of everybody.
Yeah. What was one of the bonuses of the Red Mage?
He had the Excalibur.
Okay, it didn't look like you had him swinging the Excal, so...
It looks like a rune sword.
Oh, this last time I went with the coral sword because the coral sword was plus whatever, and the Excalibur was not a critting at all.
Well, in any case, Ale, now that I'm done fussing at Dangwoo, GG.
GG.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So, how about that Topher?
I mean, that's why you don't mess around and, don't play with your fiend fights.
So, the 2 biggest advantages you had over Dangwoo, and the reason you beat him by 45 seconds in spite of him getting into Topher probably like 2 or 3 minutes before you did, you knew where that slime grind was, and you actually bothered to pick up that Katana +4 in the easily looted treasure room in Cardia Islands.
Yeah, I was really excited when that katana came out of that box. I was like, katana, sweet, I have a weapon. Oh, it's +4, even better.
Yeah, this Topher was not playing around this time.
Nah, I took carried 2 a little bit too lightly and paid for my first dive, and then the second dive was going fine until Kraken killed both my life casters, and I died to airs after Tia 2, and I was like, of course this would be the way to go.
Every fiend fight was different. It was like I got the Kraken one fight and he's just punching, and then I get to the Kraken fight the next time and he's like tornado, swirl. Oh, we're gonna punch now. Then we're gonna cast a nuclear or something like that. And I'm just like, I can't even get a chance to do anything. Come on.
I did enjoy when the Kraken just was like, oh, your red mage is the only person who's a threat to me. Time to ignore your white mage. Punch!
Now, to be honest, it's also my fault. I was only using copper bracelets on all of my characters except for my ninja, okay?
I mean, that Kraken was hitting for over 1,000. I don't think gold bracelets were the solution to your Kraken woes.
No, but it would have made me feel a little bit better about it, though.
Would it have? Would it have?
Wow.
He might have survived when I had 3 evasion stacks and he got 1 shot, in which I realized that my ninja didn't have the coral sword equipped. But XCal was so good though. I was like amazing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not critting anything, so let's go with the Coral Sword. And somehow I got an RNG loop on Chaos. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, that was deeply impressive. Because Ale wound up in a similar situation where he was down to just his one melee. The only difference is that it was a buff to the gills ninja with a +4 katana.
I mean, my red mage ninja both had less than 400 HP. Nuke comes out and everybody's down to like 20 HP, and I'm like, okay, this is a good turn one.
Yeah, that was a brutal nuke.
Yeah, one of you had a red mage at 7 HP after that nuke. I can't remember which one it was.
That was me, I think.
Yes, I think that's Bangwoo.
Okay.
You know, it was good times. You know, Topher brought the heat, you know, and we survived it after many. Because I pulled an ale also. I was like, oh, it's just carry, it's no problem. And I'm just like trying to swing with an Excalibur, and I'm like, you're gonna die at some point, right? If not, I'm wiping here.
She had a ton of health.
Yeah, she did. I did want to point out my moment of panic.
Go ahead.
Well, go ahead. What do you think?
Yeah, I was gonna say, no, speaking of carry too, it looks like Demon is back after his grind to try and deal with the mini-armed fiend, so I'm just gonna keep an eye on that to see how well he pushes through. But you were gonna say, Ale?
So my moment of panic in my new Dang strat is to go into the Kraken 2 fight with no armor on 2 of your mages because you forgot to re-equip it.
I've done that.
And
Okay.
it worked great because Kraken never punched, so I'm saying it's a 1-for-1. It's perfectly fine.
Okay, Ale, here's the real question. Why did you take the armor off of your mages?
Greatly.
Well, I took it off when I was doing the slime
Evasion,
grind, just because I was hoping that if maybe because they didn't seem to cast Thunder all the time. So I was hoping that either between Thunder getting cast or between the slimes deciding just to punch, they would knock out the white and the black mage. So I took it off during the grind, then I just totally blanked on putting it back on. So I'm like mid-Kraken fight, I'm like, oh, he's gonna hurt. I'm like, oh, freak, I haven't re-equipped my armor. This is gonna end poorly. And then she never punched.
Yeah, so Demon did make it through that carry 2, is currently patching everyone up with those heal potions before making the dive down to Kraken 2, aka, hey, remember when you guys used to call me the Gatekeeper?
I'm
Used to.
gonna have nightmares. Literally, there was like 2 different fights. Every time I faced Kraken, it was a different fight every time.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, I think Darkmoon even shouted that out, was like, just the way that Kraken script played out, it just had
Everything.
a bunch of problems for you.
Yeah. There was no good way around that Kraken.
You know, and then I was just like, all right, we're just gonna have the red mage. We're gonna defense him up. I think it was like the one just before or something like that. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna defense up my red mage. I'm gonna go for it. And it goes non-elemental. And I'm just like, I can't do anything with this. I have less than 400 HP. Like, what are you doing to me? I've been in here for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, that was a lot.
It only took you 33 minutes to clear Topher, you know, compared to the 57 minutes you spent on the rest of the seed.
Half of my life was in Topher. Half of the...
A third dang.
You know, math on Twitch.
Yeah. Okay, so Ale, you are our current winner at this point. You've managed to get through 45 seconds before Dangwoo stealing his thunder. So, what is the flag you would like to change in the flag set?
Oh, you're gonna put me on the spot and make me look right now, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, you had like 5 minutes that we were just chatting here. You could have looked by now.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's turn on Sky 4, the map edit. Let's make that a maze.
Of course you would.
Because that Sky 4 maze edit never gets used anymore, and it needs some more love.
Okay, as someone whose favorite Sky 4 setting is the maze, you have my love now, Ale.
I I love how half the people playing this try and make things easier, and the other half are like, no, I just want to make it worse for everyone involved.
And this is the first one I've been able to jump in on over the past few weeks, and I figure by the time spring tournament ends in a few months, and I assume the weeklies are going on hiatus. I mean, I figure it'll be fresh for everybody at that point in time. They'll be like, "Who made these flags again? What were they thinking?" So it'll be a neat surprise to come back to.
So Demon did get through Kraken 2. Looks like he still has most of his resources, and we have double Tiamats on screen. Just one of them is... Well, one of them just threw out Thunder, so you know what? I'm not sure which one is markedly easier.
I just want to point out also, one important thing is read the flags, because I kind of forgot that it was up to 300%. So I went in at like 21 thinking it was like spring tournament flags. I'm like, that'll be fine. I'm like, wow, this carry's awfully tanky.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised. Were either of you tempted to like grab one of those +4 ice swords out of Melmond just in case?
I had it in the back of my head, depending on how things went after promotion. But then I looted that Cardi Isle right after promoting and found the katana, and then I was never worried about it again.
Yeah.
And then the red mage had the X-Cal, so I was like, yeah, it's fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Because that X-Cal was sufficient for everything that you really wanted the red mage to be able to hit hard. But yeah, Melee, meanwhile, in chat, is calling for the day that someone turns on keep spell permissions.
I'm waiting for that too, honestly. Yeah. When it first started, we had the tiered shuffle on, and that was almost immediately annihilated because people hated how bad the magic was. But yeah, keep permissions, that would be rough. Or just turning on Spellcrafter without like adjusting the permissions there. That would be kind of cruel too.
We actually want people to race on these days at Dark Moon and Melee, okay? I'm just saying. We want people to actually race.
So I'm just wondering when y'all are going to turn on buffed pirates.
I was wondering if that was on when I fought the pirates today. I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. I'll just throw out like a fire or two. Then I was like, I never looked to see if buff pirates are on. This might end badly. Good thing it's like literally the last thing I'm doing.
Yes, demons at chaos.
Yeah,
no, how to use the hallway.
Yeah, that
he made it past that air tile or that air elemental fight.
There we go. Victory lap. Whee!
I hope you get your radioactive suit ready, because that turn 1 nuke's coming.
Yeah, Kirito did take down that Tia 1, I think, without resorting to Brack or Bane strats. So, or rather, the RNG said he wasn't allowed to. So he's just got Kraken to take down. Otherwise, he is good to go.
So I gotta say, he's got a Vorpal -1, and the Red Wizard can equip that. Knowing that the X-Cal isn't going to be doing a whole heck of a lot here against Chaos, I might throw that Vorpal on that Red Mage instead.
Yeah. I think that the reasoning here is going... There is enough things that my red mage can be doing that is not hitting things.
Yeah.
I'm just going to count on my red mage hitting things.
Oof, another high roll on that nuke right there.
Yeah, everyone's alive though, and he does have those 2 heal 3 casters to pick the party up.
If he bothers, he doesn't seem to care.
He did throw the heal 3 out from the white mage, so...
And it didn't matter. That ninja went down before he was going to get healed anyway.
Okay. So,
So we're getting...
So I didn't see what he had on the red mage.
Red mage is swinging the X-Cal.
Okay. So,
But he is buffed up the wazoo at this point.
He might want some more, everything.
Yeah, he's tempering, he's healing. He's swinging, he's going to do a test, we're going to see. Good turn order, got the temper out, going to swing. 7 hits for 524. Fast comes out. That's going to be a little scary if Chaos ever decides to punch. Going to heal, get ourselves back up above 300. Continue tempering. Now we're invising again.
Yeah, you might as well keep throwing those tempers out as long as that black mage isn't dead.
Black Mage
Okay, that black mage is dead.
It's like you summoned it.
He was in the front of the line. He was.
Oh,
Oh, let's stop.
that's bad. I hope you have a cure 4 if he does not. Oh, that's bad.
So he's at least
Oh, hey.
red mage recovers.
Oh yeah, there you go. Still getting a good chunk of hits there. Gonna heal again.
Yeah. Where was Cure 4? I think I saw one of you had it.
It was level 8.
Okay. That
So
was
big focus and hit there. Continuing to heal. Another swing. 623. Chaos has a deep spell list though, and most of them are not that scary, so that's actually to his benefit.
Yeah, it's just the presence of that nuke that makes it mildly what's the word I'm looking for here? Utterly terrifying.
Butt clenching, yeah. Drink
There's a
strap
lot of
around.
ways- there's a lot of idioms to describe the tension.
No tension now.
Nice. And
Tension gone.
that is going to be a third place finish for Demon RHK with a official race.gg time of 1 hour 47 minutes flat.
Very nicely done.
GG. Wow, I was gonna say 1 minute. He's OP.
Now, see, he is strengthened by the fact that I, the guy talking, do not know how time works. Yeah. Meanwhile, Kirito making his dive down to deal with Kraken 1. I think he is still relatively low levels.
We now joined in chat by Demon RHK.
Yeah,
GG,
Demon,
sir.
GG.
Thank you. GG's, everybody.
So, I think out of the three of you, you had the easiest time with Temple of Fiends, because after your first wipe, you said, I'm just going to go get some levels, because I'm not dealing with this crap.
A lot of it is that I went in and I'm like, okay, there's no way I should get through this. I'm like 20 across the board. And then I go run into Zap and I go, I've got no other ribbons. Let's just go ahead and take at least one damage dealer way up, because if I run into anything nastier, I'm just going to keep beating my head off of it.
Mm-hmm. So, meanwhile, Dangwoo and Ale bang their head off of the dungeon. Dang more than Ale. Ale did actually leave to go grind for a minute.
Way to be a quitter, Ale.
Look, I was just trying to get my ninja above 400 hit points, and 5 levels later, he only gained like 20 hit points, and he ended right at 400. I'm like, you know what? We're done. Like the last 2 levels, he went from like 396 to 398 to 400. I'm like, well, if we're just gonna gain 2 HP at a time, I'm not gonna keep investing effort in this.
It just admit it. It was wiping to the airs that kind of broke your spirit.
It was, honestly, yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Like-
we were doing a count there, and it was Fiend 6, Hero 0, Airs 1.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like, oh, that air pack. I'm like, how do you die to air? Ninja, come on.
Man. Was it that last unrunnable air pack right before the Chaos Floor?
Uh-huh.
Oh, gosh. I ran
Yeah.
into that and I'm like, come on, unrunnable? Seriously? Step before the floor?
Yeah, well, you had the advantage that your life casters were still alive. Ale did not have that advantage. Tiamat might have killed them.
Oh, what's wrong, Ale? Your katana couldn't help you?
No, man, I can't swing and hit air. You know how it goes.
But that's,
You really
that's the main thing. You hit when you swing.
Not my
Arguably,
ninja. That's
You hit air more than you hit anything else when you swing a weapon.
See, that's the key. You bring a dang ninja and he can't even hit air. It's great.
But yeah, so Demon, I will admit that we mostly focused on Dang and Ale because they kind of were leading the way. Well, Dang was off doing Dang things, and Ale was kind of doing what you and Kirito were doing a little bit before y'all got there.
Okay.
But yeah, so Ale is going to need to go ahead and duck out. So real quick, Ale, any final thoughts beyond the pain you have introduced?
No, I mean it was a fun Thursday flag set. I'm glad to finally been able to get in and make some time and jump in for the evolving flag set, and turn on a fun little flag that we'll see here in a couple months. So it's a lot of fun.
At some
Yeah.
point. Yeah. Maybe sometime after the Ducks do their thing in May or June or whatever.
So Demon, just so you know, Ale decided to turn on the the maze on Sky 4.
Oh,
Yeah,
if
no,
I had
GG.
one, I was one of the ones I would have considered too.
So yeah, Ale, GG, and
GG's.
have a good night.
Yeah. Thanks, you guys as well.
All right. So yeah. So Demon, what did you think of this wonderful seed that felt so nice and smooth and easygoing right up until Temple of Fiends?
Read your flags, kids. I'm just bebopping along, and I'm like, la la la, this is nice. I'm gonna go to Provoke and take out some... Oh, Gaia. Well, that's interesting. Well, at least I'll check out what the level 7 magic... Oh, level 5 magic. Well, that's interesting. Honestly, it was pretty solid. I mean, there were good grinds all over the place. It's like, no, metal slimes. Oh, they have thunder. Never mind. But then it's like, oh, look, I'm going to pull an X-Cal out of a chest I can already wheel. Oh, look, dragons. Sure, we'll just kill these. I mean, the eye grind was there too in ordeals. It was good cop, bad cop. You had good cop first with the regular eye, and then bad cop afterwards with Phantom, which you want no part of. But yeah, the seed was pretty straightforward. The only aha that I was happy I got right was it's like, I mean, it's Town Shuffle, it's fit, and I'm still don't have the Oxyale, so it's 50-50 Provoke is actually at on-rack, and I don't have to double dip that continent, and luckily enough, that was exactly what happened. On-rack was orphaned all by itself over in Lefane, which was nice.
Yeah. So Kirito, just jumping over there real quick, has now lit all 4 of his orbs, so he's going to go ahead and start getting himself prepped for making that Topher dive and finding the pain. So, yeah, of the 4 of you on stream, the 3 of you, Ale, Dangwoo, and Demon, you all took Mage Rainbows. Kirito took a different path. He went with the Thief and the 3 available Red Mages.
Yeah, I want to comment. How about that party draft right there? How was that for you guys?
The entire... I swear every Malice was like minus hit percentage, minus hit percentage. It's like, is anybody going to hit anything in this seed?
The answer apparently was the Red Mage.
Yeah, the answer was the Red Mage pulling the X-Cal out of Earth 1. But no, it was pretty solid. I mean, even the buffs were kind of just off the wall, but still interesting. I think it was... the White Mages had the Black Belt Vitality or something like that, which is why they had ridiculous amounts of hit points plus hit points at level 1. Yeah, the party draft was actually kind of... It wasn't bad. It was nice a nice change of pace to not have a seed where it's like, oh, look, I have a fighter. Or, oh, look, I have a Black Belt that I'm just going to Dan everybody and grind to 42. It's just not having to do something different.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's all those things y'all adapted. Like, all 4 of y'all adapted really well to what the seed gave you. Mostly the realization that, oh, I'm just going to need to stab things with a Red Mage. Repeatedly.
I think we have the answer there. The Cure 4 was level 8 at Melmond.
Alright. Yeah, that was something else that Darkmoon and I really enjoyed, was all of those early spell shops being all of the ones that were useless to you in the early game.
And just useless in general, they're all 7 and 8, and they were all super pricey.
But yeah, so trying to think of other points of interest that we noticed over the course of this seed.
Trying to remember the town shuffle along with the spell shuffle along with... Yeah, I was completely lost for a while there. The only thing I remember was Nuke. I was like, oh, Nuke's there. All right, we're going to go to that at some point.
That wasn't all my fault. I'm pretty sure Town Shuffle and Magic Shop Shuffle were both turned on by other players.
I'm almost certain they were. That feels about right for the for the community in general.
Yeah.
What? As a demon would point out, walking over to provoke, and I'm like, all right, level 2 magic. What do we got? This is definitely not provoke. This is definitely not level 7 magic. I hate this game already.
I mean, I was thankful it was at least level 5, because I'm like, okay, so we're going to go grind dragons, and we're just going to keep looking at the Black Mage's magic, because I don't have my stats memorized that well. Oh, look, I can cast level 5 magic now. We're leaving. We're going to go get Nuke.
I mean, yeah, for not being very happy about it, Dang, you did proceed to go ordeals right into Mirage Tower.
Right. I was wondering. I'm like, okay, how many people are gonna do what I just did?
No one.
As far as the restream went, no one. Everyone else did a sensible route. I mean, no, it's one of those things, and you'll see if you go back and watch the VOD. Like, that's a play I personally prefer. Of just like, can I survive ordeals? I've got Fire 2 at level 2. Yeah, good enough. I can survive ordeals. Can I get up to around level 12? Do I have Nuke? Okay, fine. I'm going to start going and blowing everything up in Sky Tower and take it from there.
I mean, that was probably the nicest thing, because I sat there and I grinded up till, what, 15, 16 or something like that, and I'm like, all right, we're going to Mirage, we got Brack, we got Nuke, let's do this. And then it was like the scariest Tiamat kill ever.
Yeah. But it's one of those things like that. That play did put you out to an early lead, because you walked out of there knowing you had all of your dungeons lined up. You just needed to find the key and the loot. But more importantly, you were on a different path than everyone else. And so
Arguably a faster path.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things where you, at bare minimum, weren't trying to play catch-up without knowing it. You were able to kind of take a different route and get where you were going.
And here, just shy of the 2-hour mark, Kurito has entered the Temple of Fiends. We're going to stick with him for one dive, probably. And then after that, we will likely bail out, because I know I'm starting to, tire out here. But we want to at least give him a chance to show his stuff here in the Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, so... yeah, it's kind of hard to ask y'all questions, because, the first 2/3 of the seed outside of Temple of Fiends was just, pretty jetty. And then you hit Temple of Fiends, and it's just so, anyway, remember all that challenge that you didn't have? I mean, is that how it felt to both of you?
I mean, for yes and no. It was still weird. Because I did Mirage so early, my levels were kind of screwed up, because I wasn't taking anything in Mirage. I didn't take any fights in Mirage. So, it went quick, as you said. It felt quick, because I knew I was very close to go mode. The last thing I needed was key. And... and I'm looking at the levels, I'm like, you know what? We're going for it. Let's just do this, How bad could this go?
Yeah, Demon,
40 minutes later.
Yeah, Demon, what about you?
It was pretty fast. It was a pretty fast seed overall, only because of the floater availability so early in the shop. Most of my, damage and time loss was self-inflicted, both from kind of panicking when I realized it was Town and Magic Shop Shuffle. I mean, just for example, I had gotten halfway around to the Rokon Desert, and then I realized I duck into what Elfland. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll stop here. Oh, Melmon, there's no item shop here. I've lost the floater, so I just reset back to Earth Cave, and luckily it was an Elfland at Melmon where I found it. But yeah, like actual non-false start, non-Topher wipes. Like I had the one Topher wipe because Carrie zapped down both my damage dealers. And I had a couple of false starts trying to actually get a metal slime kill to stick before I finally got an ambush on them. But I mean, other than that, I think the only wipe I really took was the seafood party pack guarding the slab. But other than that, yeah, it was a pretty solid jetty seed overall. Oh, and of course, when I dove into Waterfall, I'm like, yeah, I'll just warp out of here. I haven't stopped at an inn in ages. I have no warp charges left.
That is the hazard of when a seed is too fast. I don't need to heal. Everything's going. I forgot that I need magic to do things.
Yeah, it didn't help. I bought like 70 cabins and just decided, oh, I'm just gonna save it. I'm just gonna save everywhere for this really nice run off the power cycle. But unfortunately, the cabins are not houses, and I get no spell charges back.
Yeah, Kirito has reached Lich 2, which had a couple of rude tricks if memory serves. I don't remember what they are, but I'm pretty sure it had something rude.
Lich like Litude, and he's got a nuke?
Yeah, he's got a nuke. I found it. It was great.
How deep did you get into Lich 2 to find a nuke?
He just casted it on me. Look, I tried to cast Zap. He wasn't excited. He got upset with me and casted nuke right back at me. It was kind of unfair.
Yeah, I know how you feel, Dangwoo. It just feels awful when you see a nuke on Lich 2 and the people around you just don't.
Look, if I had cake, I would have casted it just for you, Wout.
Yeah, no, it was one of those things. It was like, is Dangwoo trying to cast Zap? And I was just immediately, yeah, he probably doesn't have Quake. He would be quaking Lich if he had Quake.
I did Zap Lich 1 for you. He didn't want to take it the second time around, though.
Don't worry, Dang. I see you quaking Lich in my nightmares every few weeks, like clockwork.
So you coming back for spring tournament this year?
Hell no.
Oh, come on.
I will be here to talk about it, but no, competition just stresses me out too much.
That's why you should go for the caking of Lich.
Or I can just, not play.
I mean,
In any case,
I guess that's true too.
Carrie 2 is just kind of slowly whittling down Kirito's line, but does die, and because I think his party, it's sitting in the mid to upper 20s, so
mid to upper 20s. You said he went 3 red mages and a ninja.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have. He probably about 400 HP at most.
I think that seems about right. Yeah. I don't know if he healed up come all the way after Carry 2, but he is definitely sitting in the mid 300s on everyone at the moment.
Oof.
Yeah, but multiple red mages with multiple Excals casting Saber. Ooh.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things. He is definitely playing Rocket Tag with this dive, but here's the moment of truth. He's about to get to Lich 2. But, first he's going to kill some Gur Sharks and some Big Eyes for that delicious, delicious experience. Yeah, Kirito is a little behind the scenes for folks. Was really hoping to join this race tonight and almost had to step out to actually help get us set up on SpeedGaming, but we did have some help from another volunteer who was more than happy to assist and let Kirito get this run in. So let's see if he can take this Kraken down.
Up to close to 400 damage so far. Tornado comes out, starts to really chip away at these party. Got 64 and 6 more damage, and then the X-Cal comes out for another 97. So we're looking at about 550 so far for that. Gonna start healing. Heal across the board. Nope, gotta do a temper from one, and well, there goes one of the red mages.
Yeah, but he's still gonna get one of these heal 3s off, and that's gonna be really helpful.
Mm-hmm. 162, very evasive Kraken, only getting one hit off of that one. Gonna start fogging.
Yeah.
I don't know. With a Kraken that hits this hard, fog doesn't feel like it's gonna be bad.
I think it was that slow 2 on the ninja?
Yeah, and it looks like it definitely hit 248 damage for one hit. Oh, it missed. It's just a very evasive Kraken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's definitely evasive.
So I don't hate the use of the fog 2 here, because the Kraken has a lot of hits, but outside of the crits, you can probably conserve a good bit of damage by burning those fog 2s, especially since it doesn't look like Kirito picked up that lock at level 2, and oh, that's not good.
There's the nuclear. And that's going to leave his red mage on his knees. 14 health left with a swing for 2 damage. And wow, Kraken goes overkill.
Yeah. So...
Alright, well, I think we're going to call it at this point. We're going to encourage everyone to go over to Kirito's channel, though, and continue following along with him if you're interested in seeing how his run finishes out. That's going to be Kirito86 right there, and SpeedGaming has been polite enough to put that link in chat as well for you. Make sure, if you're interested, go and follow him up, and I think at this point we're probably good to start doing final thoughts and moving on. Woat, you want to lead us through?
Yeah, sure thing. So, Dang, we'll start with you. Any final thoughts?
Just a big thanks to Woat, the Woat Boat, Darkmoon, everybody that's been helping out. Appreciate y'all. The spring tournament coming up. We got the reveal Saturday, so I'm hyped for that. And you know what, Demon RHK, nice job on finishing. Ale, you're my teammate in Fall League last year, so GG to you, sir. Way to crush me.
Yeah, Demon, any final thoughts here?
Thanks to you guys for calming, for our restream team and the SpeedGaming Family Networks for letting us host on here and our tracking as well. Shout out to Danny because we had a discussion about this flag set, and I remembered that somebody had cranked the enemy bonus up for when you have the right weapon and buying that dragon sword at level 1. And just like everything that Ding just said, we got the spring tournament. You still got a day or two to sign up, so absolutely jump in there, jump right into the deep end. It's what I did last year. It's fun, win, lose, draw.
Yeah. All right, Darkmoon. Any thoughts on your end before we wrap things up?
I really enjoy this flag set. It's a goofy idea that we have here, and certainly it's not an easy flag set, but I think it's part of what makes it so much fun. And it's enjoyable to come here and hang out and just see people beat themselves against it every once in a while. Good for everyone to see that. So yeah, I'm glad everyone's come out and enjoyed it. And yeah, thanks for coming out and running, guys.
All right. And to kind of close things out, I would just like to assure anyone watching who may still have an opportunity to sign up for the spring tournament, it is not nearly this bad.
It's never this bad. It's just always this bad.
Yeah, no. It's one of those things. With the spring tournament, we generally try to have accessible flags. It's just once we actually have you hooked and get you invested in running this randomizer, that's when we're just like, so anyway, what we actually mostly play is hot garbage, and sometimes we play hot garbage that has also been left out in the sun for a month.
Accurate.
So, I mean, it's one of those things. Spring tournament flags, you'll have fun with them. And then we'll slowly corrupt you until you're sitting here looking at this and going, this looks fun. So, with that being said, I've been Woat. Dark Moon has joined me here in the booth. We had Dangwu, El Markin, Demon RHK, and Kirito running, and we had Melee Wizard tracking. So,
Wait, hold on. You've been Wout? Does that mean you're no longer Wout? Are you someone else now?
No. I've been Woat. I still am Woat, but I've been Woat.
Okay.
But, yeah, on that note, we're probably going to send folks Kirito word. And if you are watching this VOD on YouTube, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the SpeedGaming channel. So, thank y'all, and have a good night.